guys, it's Dr. Brian here to talk to you about ADHD. We see a lot of children with ADHD in our office. We also see a lot of adults with ADHD, and we help them find natural, non-drug, non-surgery ways to get better. One of the areas that we often check is the upper neck. This is a location where there is basically connections between these green nerves and these yellow nerves that help to balance out focus, help to balance out ADHD, help to calm people down, help with sleep. So that's a really important area. Other than the neurology, another important area is in terms of nutrition. One of the common things that we see in children that have ADHD is that their behavior is much worse when they're on a lot of sugary foods. Studies have shown that children who are on those high foods, there's 70% of children who crave sweets have a lot more control of their behavior when they're not eating all the sugar. So it's really, really important. Some foods to try to avoid. I'm going to run through these kind of quick. Syrup, sugary cereals, pancakes, waffles, soft drinks, candies, cakes, cookies, donuts, ice cream, frozen yogurt, chocolate. A lot of the things that we all crave that are really, really addictive, they're really sugary, they're going to really stress out your ADHD children, going to make their behavior very difficult. One thing that has been found by many different studies, Dr. Feingold, as a California pediatrician who found it, there's a study from the Hospital for Sick Children in London, another study in the National Institute of Mental Health. They're linking a lot of food allergies and food deficiencies with ADHD. So there are certain foods that are really, really prone to this. One thing is called salicylates, which are often found in foods like raisins, nuts, apples, and oranges. That's been shown by many doctors. They also say, though, they have underlying food allergens. So basically, the most common food allergens, when you think about what foods are the most allergenic, a few that could probably come to mind for you are things like cow's milk or dairy. Included in that is milk, cheese, yogurt, and ice cream. The second really common one is corn. If you've seen the movie King Corn, corn tends to be in everything. It's an additive in many prepared foods. The third is wheat. Fourth is soy, which many cows are also fed, so you get soy in many different directions, even though you may not know it. And the last one are eggs. Typically, those are not eggs from healthy chickens. So you look at those ones, and then you also want to look at symptoms a child has. There's 5 symptoms we want you to look for that are really, really big indicators. If they have focus issues and they have these symptoms or these questions you're going to ask yourself, if you have that going on, it's a really good indication that the food is a link to it. So the first question you want to ask, and things you want to look for, does your child have eczema, asthma, hay fever, hives, or chronic runny nose? If the answer is yes to that, as well as some focus issues, you're going to really, really want to start changing their diet. Second, does either a parent or a sibling have severe allergies or migraine headaches? Third question, does the child have a geographic tongue? Are there irregular flattened patches on the tongue that look like countries or look like different kinds of formations? Fourth, does the child's ears turn red for no apparent reason? Fifth, does the child seem to crave a single food? Is there a single food that they just crave, they can't live without, they eat it multiple times per day, and if you took it away, you think that they would lose their mind? Usually that is one of the offending, problematic foods. So the best foods to use when because we're going to go through, typically we recommend a 2-week trial period where you take out all the super allergenic foods. So you'd be taking out the dairy, the wheat, the processed eggs, the soy, taking out the corn products, all the ones with additives and preservatives, getting rid of that stuff, and colorings. The foods you would use that you would still have the child eat would be meat, poultry, fish, things like coconut milk, oats, oatmeal, fresh vegetables, and fresh fruits. Those are the things you keep in there, and you're going to then get rid of the other stuff. So you do that for 2 weeks. Give them 2 weeks of that, and then you start introducing back in some of the offending or some of the foods that you're questioning. So you would then add back in your dairy, or you would add back in your wheat, and you would watch to see the changes. You want to look for things like itching of the skin, wheezing, runny nose, red ears. All those things could be signs of a food allergy. And you would probably find that food and you would eliminate it and not add it back in. Does that make sense? You would also expect to see improvements in their behavior. Other things you want to look, people ask about supplements. A lot of times we recommend adding in fish oil, or adding in our office we call it BFO. It's a combination of boards, fish, and flax. That's very helpful, especially if the child has skin issues and if they have concentration issues. It's something that I take that almost everybody should be taking is a BFO. It's a really awesome supplement. Another supplement people talk about are things like magnesium and calcium. Most children, they're going to find the studies of ADHD are not getting enough magnesium in their diet. Also with high adrenaline levels, they're going to get rid of a lot of magnesium. So we're going to want to look at that. Usual dosage for a small child is 100 milligrams of magnesium. For a bigger child, it's 200 milligrams. Usually they take that right before bed. And that helps them with pains during sleep, with growing pains, people say, muscle aches, headaches. The last one, has your child been on antibiotics? If they've been on antibiotics, odds are they're deficient in the proper bacteria that live in their stomach, which can also cause yeast to basically inhabit their intestines, making them crave sweets. The sweets then drive them to have bad behavior issues. So reducing sugary foods like we talked about earlier, and also supplementing with a good probiotic. One from our office, one that you might get from like a health food store in the refrigerator, some kind of one that has a lot of the 14 million plus population of lactobacillus or healthful bacteria. So those are some suggestions that you can do to help children with ADHD. If you have questions or comments, shoot me a message after this one. The best way to reach us is www.ithacachiropractic.com. We look forward to helping you. The phone number is 257-WELL, and we're here to help your whole family get well. Have a great day. Bye. Better?